everyone, I am Jovie Vista, your last reporter for week 17 as well as your last reporter in this class. So, we are going to discuss about the motivation to learn in school on target. So, we have these subtopics, table 12.6, strategies that support and undermine motivation in the classroom, diversity in motivation, lessons for teachers, strategies to encourage motivation. So, for the table 12.6, which is the strategies that support and undermine motivation in the classroom, this is a table type, but I made it to look this way because if I'm going to crop the table or the picture, liliit siya. So, if you will have or if you want to have a further strategies and examples, you can refer to the given PDF. So, I have selected 4 strategies as well as 4 examples. So, for letter A, which is the clear goals, examples, teachers explain directly how to do the task and how students will be divided. So, if you are a good teacher, you will have a direct instruction for the students kung papaano gagawin ang task. If it is about a term paper, for example, so you will give them a format kung ano yung dapat na magiging laman ng term paper. For example, pwede magkaroon ng introduction ng body and conclusion. And another thing is that how students will be divided. So, na-discuss natin during previous discussions na hindi dapat magkaroon ng discrimination when it comes to dividing your students. So, hindi dapat na sa isang group ay matatalino lahat or skillful lahat. So, dapat those skillful students will be equally divided para ang bawat grupo ay magkaroon ng leader or magkaroon ng mga magagaling din na kasama. Okay, so for the second strategy, we have connections across curriculum. Examples, teachers relate concepts to one another. So during previous discussions, we discussed the organizers. We have the comparative organizer and as well as the expository organizer. So ang comparative organizer, ito yung nire-relate or kinukumpara ang previous lessons to the present lessons kung ano nga ba ang connection nila. And another is the expository, which is the overview kung ano ang magiging susunod na lesson. Next is multiple representations of tasks. Teachers are using different way and techniques and explaining to students about the topic. Again, during previous discussions, na-discuss natin ang tinatawag natin na dual coding theory or yung may nababasa ang estudyante as well as may nakikita silang pictures na related doon sa topic. So, ang dual coding theory ay isang halimbawa ng tinatawag natin na multiple representations of a task. Or pwede rin na may video presentation ang teachers ng explanation about sa topic na na-discuss niya or yung tinatawag natin ng mga supplementary videos. Next is opportunities for choice. So teachers are giving students the freedom to choose for their topic. So again, para ma-achieve ang cooperative learning or ang quality education and to support the motivation of the students, ang teachers ay nagbibigay ng opportunity sa mga estudyante na pumili ng topic na gusto nila. Just like what Ma'am Miliari did, di ba? When she assigned us sa ganitong reporting, inallow niya tayo ang magpili ng report or ng topic na gusto nating i-report. So that is an example of opportunities for choice. We already discussed strategies that support motivation. Now let us discuss strategies that do not support motivation to learn. First, ineffective or negative feedback. We already discussed about the proper ways of giving feedbacks, right? So, if we are giving feedbacks, you should be specific about the progress of the students and in what areas thus she needs more improvement. Additionally, do not compare student A with student B. It will not lead to motivation but to losing of self-confidence. Second is lack of connections. When we say connections, it could be a connection between students and teachers or connections of students to the lessons. To avoid this, Teachers should design a complex topic in a way that a student will find it interesting. Third is emphasizing and finishing, not on learning. If a teacher emphasizes that it is better to finish the task without learning, the students will carry this kind of attitude. They will tend to have or to do mass practice because they have set a mindset of bahala na basta makapasa activity. Last, public punishment. It causes public embarrassment, and if a student has low self-esteem, she will be afraid to go to school, to recite, to explore, discover things because she thinks that she will be scolded again. Next topic is the diversity of motivation. Different language, culture, economic privilege, personality, knowledge, and experience of the students lead to their different needs, goals, interests, emotions, and beliefs. So, because in a classroom setting, we have different learners, which means different motivation or different culture and economic privilege, even personality, a teacher should design a topic that is compatible to every student. Language is a central factor in students' connection with the school. When bilingual students are encouraged to draw on both English and their heritage language, motivation and participation can increase. To encourage motivation in a classroom, a teacher should support autonomy, recognize accomplishments, making evaluations. To support autonomy, a teacher can ask students the opportunities to lead in class or allow students to choose how to complete projects and assignments. Next is recognize accomplishments. But let us always remember that in recognizing accomplishments, it should be fair to everyone to avoid losing self-confidence of a student in a classroom. Then, making evaluations. When we are making evaluations, let us always compare her previous status in the classroom up to her improvements. Next is lessons for teachers, strategies to encourage motivation. First, the classroom must be relatively organized and free from constant interruptions and disruptions. Having an organized classrooms and free from any disruptions allows teachers to spend more time on the more important stuff. It also allows students to learn more and focus and direct their focus to the lessons and not on the other unnecessary things that are happening around them. Number 2, the teacher must be a patient, supportive person who never embarrasses the students because they made mistakes. Third, the work must be challenging but reasonable. And last, learning must be authentic. We have already discussed authentic tasks. So when we say authentic tasks, these are the real life situations. Just like us, future teachers, we are studying grammars so that we can apply it into our future students. We are also doing reportings, many lectures, and other stuffs so that we will become prepared for the outside world. Next is seeing the value of learning. So seeing the value of learning, we have the attainment and intrinsic value. And second, the utility value. So let us discuss them one by one. What is attainment and intrinsic value? So attainment value, connecting the learning task with the needs of the students. Attainment value is the importance of doing well in a given task. For example, students who identify themselves as athletes set goals related to their sport. When they have goals, they will be motivated to work for it. And intrinsic value, interest and enjoyment that students experience when engaging in an activity. Intrinsic value happens when a student finds that the task is challenging yet enjoyable, will benefit herself and aligns with her interests. She will do the task despite of the failures she will face. Last is utility value. It is the usefulness of the task to her future goals. For example, as a future educator, we all know that we are going to teach the students, right? So in preparation for that, we are learning the different philosophies for teaching profession so that we will pass the LET and become an effective teacher.